Hello, people. I welcome you once again, lovely viewers, to another lesson, which is so important. I would quickly share my screen with you as we go through. Okay, so I trust you can see my screen. Wonderful. So the title of this lesson is Becoming a Responsible Adult. And at the end of this lesson, we want to be able to understand what it means to be responsible in life as young people. And then we also want to discuss at least 5 areas of responsibility. I mean, you may feel that you know all about adulthood, but I mean, there are other people who have also said that adulthood is calm because when you become an adult, there are certain things that you may have taught that were the case in real life. But I mean, from childhood to adulthood, it's a long journey, and we have to deliberately learn certain things as we unlearn the things that we used to do as children. Good. Now, responsibility is actually not gained just out of the blues. It's a skill that you intentionally acquire with age and along the way of life. So as you grow, there are certain things that you have to intentionally imbibe into your schedules, okay, that will make you prove to others that you are responsible. And it has to do with your words, your actions, and then your behavior. So the way you relate to others, the way you relate to issues of life will make people know that you are either responsible or irresponsible. And it is your conscious decisions that actually shape the personality you carry around. So, as people who want to develop a very good personality, one of the areas that we want to deliberately work on is in the aspect of being responsible adults. Okay, so these are some areas that we want to look at. The first area that we want to look at is persistence. When you carefully look at the image that we have, you see that there is an ant, and this ant is pushing something. I mean, it could be its food, whatever, up a tree. And one of the things that even the Bible admonishes us to do is to go to the ant in terms of persistence. What the ant does is that it doesn't give up. So anyhow the ant will manage to send its food into wherever it has to store its food, it will do it. And this is what we as adults have to prove ourselves with our persistence. How often do you give up? If you start a project, are you able to finish it? Or you give up along the way just because things are challenging? There are a few things that have come your way in terms of your education, in terms of your work. How often do you persist? Do you try and try again? Or at your first attempt, you feel that you have to give up? There are people who have tried certain things, businesses, relationships, and just at the first attempt, maybe all things being equal, if things are definitely not right, you know, but at least if there are certain minor things that you could have dealt with in that workplace, then in persistence, we are saying that you should be able to really remember your goals and ensure that you don't leave them. And this actually shows how responsible you are as a person. All right. So the next thing that we have to do to show that we are actually responsible is to avoid the blame game. I mean, everybody in life makes mistakes. Okay. And at some point in time, someone around you will make a mistake. The fact that a person has made a mistake doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Now you push blames, his fault, her fault, their fault. Everything is somebody else's fault. You don't have any errors. This is something that shows a high level of irresponsibility, and it's our duty as adults, as people who are growing, to actually work on avoiding the blame game at every point in time. Ensure that you actually take responsibility for the actions that, I mean, sometimes you even delegate roles to people. And once they make a mistake, you, the one who delegated the role, should take the responsibility and be accountable rather than pushing blames on other people. Yes. The next thing that we want to look at is to stop delaying. Okay. You can't tie, if you look at the image, there's a stone and the clock. I mean, the minute hand of the clock is tied to the stone. My brother, my sister, this is not possible in real life situation. Even if you decide to tie the watch or the clock in your house, the interesting thing is that other clocks are moving. The more reason why you should not play or joke with your time. Every one of us has 24 hours. If you are fond of procrastinating, what happens is that every hour that is ahead surface, because something that you could have done at 11 o'clock will be pushed to 12. So 12 will be overburdened, and 1 o'clock will be overburdened, 2 will be overburdened. And that is what the life of somebody who is irresponsible is. At every point in time, you try to tie the clock with a stone, I mean, a rope, and then tie it to a stone, thinking that you can stop time. So we try, you have, when you have to do something, you decide to just do things that are not relevant to your goals. So you always delay in doing the things that you are supposed to do. That shows irresponsibility. We have to strive to do things at the right time, because that is, time is only, I mean, the only difference between the poor and the rich. What you use your time for determines how rich or how poor you will be in life. And God even admonishes us to be time conscious, redeem the time. That is what we are told, redeem the time. So at every point in time, we have to stop delaying if we want to be seen as responsible adults. Again, we have to be responsible by not complaining. So we have to stop complaining at every point in time. There are some of us who invest a lot of energy in complaining at every point. Okay, we complain and it affects our happiness, and we also get this kind of agitation in our spirit. We are not at peace. Okay, because we are always complaining. We don't look at the brighter side of life. So if there's something going on in your community that is wrong, rather than sitting and complaining, you can rather do something. You can actually do something about the situation. So complaining always takes our happiness away and makes us blind to the good things that are happening around us. If we decide to look at the brighter side of life, it shows how responsible we are and how in charge, okay, we are as people, as adults. So complaining is the last thing that you should encourage around you. Now, the last thing that we can talk about, okay, we have to stop making excuses. Okay, at every point in time, take out can't from your dictionary and say, I can do it. Because if we prepare our minds as adults, if you prepare your mind towards something, you can actually do it. We are created in the image of God, and therefore we can do all things. So you need to intentionally take out can't, okay, and schedule your life, schedule your things in such a way that excuses are out of your way. If you have to do something, do it at that point. Don't give excuses. I mean, everybody can have a bag of excuses, but you decide how to do things around you, or how to relate to people, how to respond to situations. Don't give excuses if you want to be seen as a responsible adult. Avoid negativity, which is actually one of the key things, okay? Turn negativity into inspiration, okay? At every point in time, positivity brings energy. So there are people around you that will say all sorts of things to bring you down. They are every time they are trying their best to bring you down with negative utterances. But you, as an individual who wants to be responsible, try your best to avoid negativity. And every time, try to pick out the positives from every situation, look at the brighter side of life. And I believe that we'll all be able to make a better life out of our situations and out of our circumstances around us, because everyone has challenges. Don't forget, no matter who you are, you will have challenges in life. But as an adult who wants to be responsible, you need to decide whether you want to be on the positive side of life or the negative side of life, where everything is dark, everything is gloomy. If you want to actually be on the positive side, all you need to do is to switch the things you say, switch the way you think, switch the people around you. There are certain people around you who don't have to be around you, and they actually make you irresponsible because they drag you into negativity. And from today, you want to make a conscious effort to let go of all these people that puts you on the table of negativity and drive yourself into a place of positive energy. Thank you. So in conclusion, we say that if you want to be treated like a responsible adult and not like a child, then act like a responsible adult instead of pretending to be one. So as young people that are growing up, some of us feel that, oh, my mother still thinks that I'm young and she treats me anyhow. My father talks to me anyhow. It's because you are pretending to be a responsible adult. If you are truly one, everybody around you will notice and treat you as such. So kindly do yourself that favor of avoiding the pretense and actually beginning to do things that make you put you in that limelight, and that makes other people see that indeed, as a growing adult, you are in the university now, you are no more in the secondary school. How are you behaving? How are you speaking? How are you carrying yourself about? All these things will make people actually treat you as a responsible adult rather than treating you like the child you don't want to be. I know that most young adults never want to be treated as children. So kindly do yourself that honors by actually becoming a responsible adult in this day and age that you find yourself, and you will enjoy life as you move on. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can send your questions to me and I will be glad to answer. Thank you so much.